So down to A. So D to C, that's a 5. Still okay. Jump down a third to A, so that is still a consonant, 3. And then we do a step up to B. Just like that. So this is the nota cambiata. What it looks like in the wild. So these 4, so down a step, down a third, up a step. That's all it is. So on to our next one. Let's see. So we go up to G. We need a consonant. It's a 4. Maybe back down to A. Nope, can't do that. Why don't we go up to, we can't go to C. It's best if you avoid repeated notes. You don't want to repeat things. So let's take, one of our leaps. We're not allowed to use a ton, but we can use occasionally some. Let's hop up to a D. Make things a little more interesting here. All right, so we've got our 5th, but we're not breaking the rules. We've got 2 notes in between. So then we can do pretty much whatever we want. So maybe D, maybe up to E. That's going to be a 6. And let's go up to maybe F and G. Although this is mirroring this, so that's not good. We want to avoid that, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's change it up a bit. Let's do some good old neighboring tone action. So D, E, back to D. Nope, can't do that. Let's see. Well, screw it. Let's do another skip. Technically, we're not outlining an arpeggio, so we're good. So let's jump down to C. To avoid having parallel fifths, we've got G. C is a 4th. Still okay as long as our next note is a consonant, so let's go down to B. Which is a 3rd. All right, and then next note, we need another, let's see, so we hop down to D. So consonant with D would either be F, A would be a 5th, or we can do B, which we don't really want to repeat. So probably not B again. And then, so yeah, basically gives us a choice of F or A. So a good option, I would say, stepwise motion, always being preferred. Let's go down to A, so that's a 5, which we're not breaking the rules. And maybe keep going. Get a little more interesting here. Oops. So 5, 4, this is the 3rd, the 2nd, but again, our consonant, 2nd and 3rd beat, or 3rd or 4th beat. Now we hop up to F. So we can have an A, we can have a C, we could have a D, although this would cross. So this would be a little sketchy. Technically still a third, all right? Because now this note is popped up here, all right? Do something a little sketchy here. So we can do 3, 2, since this dips below it, 1. So this is going to be perfect unison right here, and then 3. All right, so we still get our 2 consonances. This is not considered a consonance. Let's see. And then finally, let's see, so our E, we can have a third, so we could have G, we could have B or C. Makes most sense to go down to G, three, two, maybe, go down to F, maybe back up to 3, and maybe A, 4. And now here's the deal. We want to end on a perfect octave. So I would consult, even before you get to the second to last measure, because you can start aiming yourself towards the right portion, you want to look at how he suggests you end, all right? And if you're working below the staff with the counterpoint below the staff, look at these two. Decide whether your counterpoint is ending on the high side, all right? So if you're high in the staff, go with this one. If you're low in the staff, go with this one, all right? And then we can manipulate this second to last measure, which isn't set yet, to this. So we're going to probably end kind of low, so we want to go with the first option. All right, so we're going to end with a perfect octave. That's always the case, all right? So you're never not going to end with an 8. So that measure is done. And you always have to have a leading tone. So we're going to have B, and then he suggests we just work it up in a scale, right? So this is 6, 5, 4, and 3. All right? So now let's try and manipulate these last couple to work in our favor. So we've got 3, maybe let's go up to A. We're probably going to have to stick a skip in here at some point just so that we can round back down and get to this A. So if we are at E here, let's see. If we want to avoid having a 5th. So maybe we have E as an octave, or a unison actually. 1, whoops, E as 1, and maybe F, This has to be a passing tone though, so we may... This is always the hardest part of third species counterpoint, is figuring out how to link this to this. So our options are G, B, C, and E. All right? So maybe we want to redo this whole entire measure. All right? Why don't we go up to B? That'll be a fifth. Right? And then you can go down to A, fourth, down to G, to be a third, and then we'll go down to 1, unison, and we can wing back around. How's that? Or another option would be to, well, and we have to repeat the A. Oh, you know what? This does not have to be an A. This unison is a consonant. It's okay. Well, we're going to call it a consonant at least. We'll call it an 8, same as a perfect octave. So essentially, it's functioning the same way. So let's do G here. This will solve our puzzle. So here's our second also, still a second part. And now we've got A. Oh crap, nope. Let's see. Let's hop up to C. Break the rules a little bit. C, B, A, G. Done. All right. So between E and C, it's a 6th. 5, 4, 3. And then finally, 3. Good. All right. So that's the solution for third species counterpoint. So it just takes a little finagling, but you'll notice it's actually a little bit easier than the other ones that you've been doing. So there's the more notes you have to work with, the more you can sort of manipulate it to avoid breaking rules, if that makes sense.